All right, kiddos. So, Icebreaker, first grade. We are going to read an article today about a gorilla and a woman who works with a gorilla. So Coco is the gorilla, Penny is the woman. And this was an article that was in a magazine, Time for Kids. Okay. What we want to keep in mind is that animals and people can learn from each other, right? Animals can learn from us, but sometimes we can learn from animals too. Keep that in mind. So let's take a look at just a couple things here on the screen. Oops, wrong clicker. We're gonna learn a little bit about gorillas.
Let's learn about gorillas. Gorillas are giant apes. They live in the rainforests of Africa, and they are mainly found in the following countries: Uganda, Rwanda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Cameroon. Male gorillas are taller and about twice the weight of females. A group of gorillas is called a troop and can sometimes have as many as 30 members. Most troops consist of one dominant male, some females, and their babies. Gorillas' bodies are covered in fur. They are incredibly strong and have human-like hands. Gorillas can reach up to 40 years of age in the wild, and even longer in captivity. They mainly eat plants and fruit, but they also eat insects. They especially love ants. Gorillas run at approximately the same speed as a human, which is about 25 miles per hour. Gorillas are very strong. They have the same strength as 20 humans. They're very mild-mannered animals, but you wouldn't want to upset one. An adult gorilla has the strength to lift an adult white rhino into the air. Gorillas are an endangered species due to poaching and loss of habitat. However, their numbers are rising thanks to conservation efforts. Fun facts: gorillas share 98% of their DNA with humans. A female gorilla called Coco learned how to communicate with humans using sign language. Gorillas are quite quiet animals and communicate mostly through facial expressions. Gorillas.
Tell me something you just learned about gorillas. Jackson?
What they say when what they share like human DNA.
Okay, so what makes them gorillas and makes us human? There's almost all of it's the same. That's kind of crazy. Tegan?
They're as strong as 20 people.
Oh, super strong. Yeah, super strong. Spencer?
You don't want to upset a gorilla.
That's true. You don't want to upset a gorilla because they can be mean. Braylon? They don't just eat fruit, but they eat ants too. Interesting. Yeah, they like little. Lawson?
That they can lift up a rhino.
Yeah, super strong, super strong. You learned a lot about gorillas in just that little bit of time, didn't you? All right, so there's some background on gorillas. Now, there's a word that they talk about in our story that I want to make sure that you understand, and that is the word, oops. That's not what I want.
Let's learn about gorillas.
Nope, we're not going to learn about gorillas. We already did.
Yeah,
The word is hobbies. Hobbies are things you do in your free time.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a picture of some arts and crafts material. So if you like to do arts and crafts, that would be a good hobby. Spencer. If you like to read, reading can be a hobby, something you do in your free time. If you play an instrument, you take instrument lessons, that could be a hobby. Play a sport, that could be a hobby. So these are all things that you're doing in your free time, right? It's not things you have to do, it's things that you're choosing to do. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and I want you to give me a thumbs up, thumbs down if it's a hobby. So think about, is it something you would do in your free time that you would choose to do, or is it something that you have to do? Okay? So thumbs up, thumbs down. Ready? Collecting baseball cards. Yeah, that's a hobby. That's a hobby because that's something you could choose to do that you think would be fun to collect baseball cards. How about doing homework? Not a hobby. That's something that you have to do. Reading. Hobby. Building with Legos. Hobby. Emptying the dishwasher. Not a hobby.
I do it.
Probably not something that you want to do.
I do.
Play, you like to do it well. How about playing volleyball? That could be a hobby. Practicing piano. That can be a hobby. It might not be something you want as a hobby, but it still would be a hobby, right? Do you think a hobby for me is going to work? No, right? It's something I have to do. It's my job. I have to go to work. All right, so you understand a little bit about hobbies. You understand a little bit about gorillas. And now we're going to talk about some other words. First, over here on the wall, we have near and hard. These are two words we're going to see in our story. So if you are near, right now I am near Callan. What does that mean? How else could I say it? Instead of saying I am near Callan and live, I am close to Callan, right? But if I stood by the door, would I be near Callan? No, I would be far from Callan in that case, right? So those are opposites, near and far. The other word is hard, and we've talked about how there's two different meanings of hard. Something can feel hard, like your desk, right? Like a rock, like your chair. Okay, stop tapping.
A door.
Or something could be hard in that it's difficult. It's
Like-
not easy, right, if it's hard. So near and hard are words we're going to see. I want to just make sure that we reviewed those. But I also want to talk about a couple more. And let me find. All right. All right, first grade, the word is signals. What's the word?
Signals.
Signals. In our story, or in the article that we're going to read today, Penny showed Coco the gorilla hand signals as a way to communicate. Signals are like secret codes that help us understand when someone is trying to tell us something without using words. That's the really key part. So you're trying to tell each other something but not use any words. What's that word?
Signals.
Signals. So a flashing red light is a signal to tell us to stop, right? A smile is a signal that someone's happy. What's the word?
Signals.
If a car has a blinking light on the right side of the back of the car,
That is.
what kind of signal is that?
It's gonna be.
Turn, raise your hand. Tell me what. Yeah. Spencer?
It's a stoplight.
Not if it's on the car. It's on the car.
Yeah.
It's blinking on the car. Callan?
It tells the car, the one behind the car, it's moving right.
Yes. Right. It's a turning signal. So if it's blinking on the right, that means the car is going to turn on the right next. What does this signal mean?
Peace.
Exactly.
Did
Did I say anything?
No.
No, I just showed you a signal with my hands and you knew exactly what it was, right? So what word means something used to communicate without words?
Signal.
Signals, yes, signals. Look at my face.
Sad.
You knew that, and I didn't even say anything, right?
Angry.
Oh, man.
Boo.
Boo, or like not happy about something, right? What about,
Why?
but if I'm just this, or like pointing at something, so I want your eyes to be here, right? So if I'm pointing, I want your eyes to be here. Not necessarily why, but look, yeah, look, that's right. All right, one more time, what's the word?
Signal.
Signals. Signals. All right, we have another one, and that is clever. What's the word?
Clever.
Coco, in our article, Coco was clever because she could communicate without words. Clever means being really smart and good at figuring out tricky things. What's the word?
Clever.
Clever. Yes, Emily.
I have a binder at home that has signals.
Oh, okay. When someone is clever, they can solve puzzles easily and come up with creative ideas. Being clever is like being a detective. You can solve mysteries. What's the word? Clever. If someone solved a problem in a simple way, that's not clever. Let me say that again, because I want to make sure you understand. If someone solved a problem in a simple way, that's not clever. If it's just an easy solution, not clever. But if someone solved a problem in an unusual or a creative way, that would be clever. Okay? So, would climbing a tree to save a cat that is stuck be clever?
No.
No, because that's a pretty simple thing to do, right? That's like an easy way to do it. But would using boxes to build steps up to reach the cat be a clever way to get the
Yes.
cat? Yeah, right? So that's a unique or creative solution to that problem. What's the word?
Clever.
All right, give me thumbs up if I just tell you something clever. Thumbs down if it's not clever. So remember, it's a creative or unique way to solve a problem. It's clever. It's like being a detective. Solving a Rubik's Cube. Do you think you'd have to be clever to solve a Rubik's Cube? Yeah, I agree. Figuring out the answer to a tricky riddle. Yeah, I think you have to be clever to do that. Writing a sentence with a high frequency word. No, you do that all the time, right? That's not very hard. Solving a difficult math problem in a short amount of time. Okay, how about this one? Walking down the hallway. You need to be clever to walk down the hallway.
No. If you're a baby. If you're a baby.
All right, look at me. Ready? And now I'm going to ask you some questions that use both words. So think carefully here. Would thumbs up be a clever signal to a human that something is good? Is this clever? Is that a clever signal?
No. Yeah.
Is it really like unique or creative or unusual? No, like we do that all the time, right? So that would not be a clever signal. Is it clever to give your friend a signal for an answer on a test?
No.
Should you do it? No. Could it be clever?
Yeah.
Could be. Right? So that's a tricky one.
That's naughty.
So,
it would not be
Well, but clever isn't necessarily good or bad. Clever is just kind of a unique way to solve it, right? So that one's a little tricky. Okay, let me check to make sure our video's still running.
I can hear is it or is it dead?
Oh, it's still going. Okay.
I thought it was
perfect.
dead.
All right, my friends, go ahead and take out your reading books.
That's the wrong book. Whoa. Guys, stop. Page 21.
Page 130.
Oh, yes, the
130.
gorilla book. Oh, I did this one in my class.
Now, some of you from Mrs. Rumbaugh's room
100
have your, like if you need to, if you are from Mrs. Rumbaugh's room and you don't have your bookmark because it was in a different book, since we moved seats, you can swap those
Yeah.
out.
Does someone have Coco and
Well, where did you sit, Jackson? Right here?
yeah, here. And I gave his 100. I gave his to him. What's that? 100.
There you go. Awesome.
We got the baby bird I want that as a pet.
All right, first grade. Yeah, right. Let's see. Row 2's almost there. Page numbers on the board.
You passed it. No, that's strange.
This is part of the book. Get on the page with us. Okay, that's not the right page. 130. All right, first grade. Stop talking. Jackson. That's it. So as I said, when we started talking, this is an article, right? So it's not a story, it's not a book, it's an article. So articles we can find in magazines, we can find in newspapers, and they're short, right? They're not very long, but articles give us information. So if it's giving us information, do you think it's fiction or nonfiction? It is non-fiction. If it's giving us information, it is non-fiction. Right? So it's real stuff here. So we're going to read about a gorilla who did amazing things. So remember what I want you to think about is how animals, in this case a gorilla, how animals can learn from humans and how humans can learn from animals. All right, get ready to follow along here. Coco and Penny. I'm going to read in that yellow box first. It says, what did a special teacher help Coco the gorilla do? Coco was a gorilla. A woman named Penny Patterson wanted to see what Coco could do. Penny found baby Coco at a zoo in 1972. Coco was a year old. Coco jumped into Penny's arms and pulled her near. Penny liked Coco. She wanted to study her. Now look up at the caption. Remember, a caption is information that tells about a picture. In this case, it's telling about two pictures. In that black box there, it says, Coco was very young when Penny began teaching her. So, where did Penny find Coco? Stella?
At a zoo.
At a zoo, that's right, at a zoo. Did Coco like Penny?
Yeah.
Yes. How do we know that? Look back into the story and tell me, how do you know that Coco liked Penny? What did Coco do to show that she liked Penny? Keegan?
He jumped on her.
She jumped, yeah, it says Coco jumped into Penny's arms, right? Do you think that if you didn't like something, would you go and like sit on the lap? No, right? So Coco was drawn to Penny. She wanted to spend time with her. All right, turn the page. Penny wanted to teach Coco words. She showed her hand signs and signals. There's our word, signals. At first, Coco mostly asked for things she wanted. She would say words like cookie a lot. Why would she say cookie a lot? What do you think, Braylon? Yeah, she learned that when she makes this sign for cookie, whatever it is, like maybe it's this or something, when she makes the sign for cookie, she gets a cookie. Like imagine if every time you made a sign for cookie, you got a cookie. Wouldn't you be making that sign all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. Take a look at the caption there on page 132. It says, "This is how Coco said sip." Why would she want to communicate sip?
Yes.
Raise your hand. What do you think, Braylon?
Because she's thirsty.
She wants something to drink, exactly. Yeah, she wants something to drink. So this is an important question, and I bet you can use one of our words that we talked about on the board. How did Coco communicate with Penny? How did Coco communicate with Penny? How was Coco able to talk to Penny without using words from her mouth? See again?
By hand signals.
By hand signals. Signs and signals, exactly. All right, we're on page 133. Follow along as I read. But soon, Coco could say more. She learned over 1,000 words. When she was happy, Coco would smile. When she was sad, she pointed to her eyes. This meant cry. Coco was really clever. There's our word, clever. Take a look at the captions on this page. It says, "This is how Coco said that she loved something," right? So it was like she hugged it, right? She loved something. And this is how Coco said toothbrush. Do you think Coco liked to brush her teeth?
Yeah.
Maybe. Now, how many words did Coco learn?
100.
Raise your hand. How many words did Coco learn, Cameron?
Over 1,000.
Over 1,000 words. And remember, these aren't words, she's not saying them out loud. She had to learn the signs and the signals to be able to communicate these words. How did Penny know how Coco was feeling? How did Penny know how Coco was feeling, Braylen?
Because she used her hand.
Okay, so that was, she did use hand signals, but there was something else sometimes that she did to show how she was feeling. Not with her hands, though. Deegan?
Maybe alphabet.
Spencer?
Writing?
No, we haven't talked about writing.
Could write them. Yeah.
Braylen?
She used to point at her eyes.
She would, well, that's true. When she was sad, she would point at her. How would she say she was happy? How could you tell that Coco was happy? Kylie? She smiled. So she's not using her hands at all, right? And that's how we can let each other know that we're happy too, is we smile, right? So she was learning those signals, not always hand signals, to communicate things as well. All right, page 134. Penny wanted to teach Coco how to do more things. She showed her how to use a pencil and paper. Coco worked hard. She even tried to write her name. Yes, Quinn?
I don't know where my solar effects thing is.
I didn't see it.
Okay, because I thought it was like in here, but I don't know. I just can't find it.
Did you leave it in the best TV room?
What?
Best TV? Were you down there?
Yeah, somewhere, but I don't think I actually.
It's not here. Sorry.
But
All right. Sorry for that interruption.
it's okay.
So in the caption here it says Coco liked to write notes. She was able to sign her own name. So what did Coco do with that paper and pencil? What did she do? Write down.
Now she knows how to write stuff.
She could write her name, right? She could write notes. Now, do you think she could write like a whole letter to somebody?
No.
I don't think she could write that much, right? But she could write a few letters.
She could
So try to communicate. All right, page 135. When Coco was 12, she would sign the word cat a lot. So Penny gave her a kitten. Coco was really kind to her kitty. She named him Allball. She had many more pets and was always kind to all of them. And there's our caption. Coco was very gentle with her pets because remember how we learned about how strong gorillas could be? She could very easily hurt that kitten, right? Because they're so strong and powerful. So she had to be especially gentle. So why did Penny give Coco a kitten? Did she just wake up one day and think, I think Coco needs a kitten?
No.
Why did she do it? Braylon?
Because
She kept signing cats, right? She kept signing cat, and so, yeah, Penny decided to give her a kitten. That's right. Alrighty, page 136, turn the page. Coco had lots of projects. She was always busy. One of Coco's hobbies was painting. Coco painted many things. Coco liked to name her paintings. She named 2 paintings, Bird and Love. And look there at the caption. Coco's favorite color was red. How do you think they know what her favorite color was? Jackson?
she probably used it on her paintings like a lot.
She probably did. She probably wanted to paint with red a lot, so they decided that was her favorite, right? She never said, my favorite color is red. Emery?
She can use signals.
Maybe,
This
maybe.
is red.
So what was Coco's hobby? What was something she liked to do in her free time? Paint. Yeah, so her hobby was painting. All right, last page here, 137. Coco and Penny worked and played together for a long time. Coco and Penny were quite a team. Why do you think the author says that? Coco and Penny were quite a team. What do you think, dig in?
They love each other and they like play a lot.
Okay, all right. So they like each other, they love each other, they play a lot. What else? Kind of
They help each other.
they help each other. Do you think they worked together? Okay. What did Coco learn from Penny? What did Coco learn from Penny?
How to do hand signals, how to draw, how to paint.
So yeah, so many things, right? How to, all those different hand signals to communicate with each other, right? Yeah, how to draw, how to paint. What do you think? What do you think Penny learned from Coco? What do you think, Deacon?
That she likes the color red.
Okay, so Penny learned that Coco likes the color red. Sure. Braylon?
She knows that Coco, he likes the kitchen.
Okay, so she learned that Coco likes kittens, likes the kittens. Do you think that, she learned that Coco was smart.
Yeah.
How do we know that Coco is smart?
She could use hand signals.
So, yeah, she learned how to communicate, right? Do you think that that Penny learned that Coco, like, knew how to be kind? Was Coco kind to the cat and gentle with the cat, right? So she learned a lot from Coco and learned a lot about how gorillas can behave, right? And how much they can learn. All right, close your books up. Put them away for now.
Oh, so we finished it.
Yep, that was it. That was it. I told you it was an article, so it wasn't very long.
Is that a cat?
Now, I'm going to give you. I'm gonna find it. I have something to give you. Oh no, we do one more thing first, and then one break. Take out a crayon. Any color crayon. No, you can leave those there for now.
This is my favorite color.
So on this paper, boys, you see lots of thumbs up and lots of thumbs down. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. You have to decide if the answer is yes, you're going to circle it with your crayon thumbs up. If the answer is no, you're going to circle it with your crayon thumbs down.
Like if you like it.
No, not if you like it. It's going to be, the question's going to be yes or no. Like it doesn't matter. It's not how you feel about it. It's a yes or no question. You'll see once we get started. Okay. Now you gotta really pay attention to what number we're on, right? Because I can't say like, oh, look at this one, because they all look the same, right? Number one. If it was not easy for you to solve the math problem, would you say that it was hard? This is a tricky one. If it was not easy, would you say that it was hard? So think, if not easy means hard, then you're gonna circle thumbs up. If not easy does not mean hard, then you're gonna circle thumbs down. Number two. Would a baby putting a square block in a square hole be clever? Think about a baby,
Yeah.
putting a square block in a square hole. Would that baby be clever?
Yeah.
Keep your answers to yourself and just mark them on your paper. We're on number three. Number three. Can I signal with my hand to tell you to get quiet? Can I signal with my hand to tell you to get quiet? Number four. Does near mean far from something? Does near mean far from something? Make sure you only have one marked in each one here. We are now on number 5. Number 4 was, does near mean far from something? I know I'm making you think here. Number 5. Can I use my voice, can I use my voice to signal something to you? Can I use my voice to signal something to you? That's number 5. Number 6. Does hard mean easy? Does hard Number 7, if I sat near a fire, would I be warm? If I sat near a fire, that's number 7, would I be warm?
What was 6?
Number 6 was, does hard mean easy? And number 7 was, if I sat near a fire, would I be warm? Number 8. Does clever mean silly?
Yeah.
Does clever mean silly? Number 7, if I sat near a fire, would I be warm? We'll go back and look. You're right. Number 9. Can I use my hair to signal something?
Like.
Can I use my hair to signal something? Number 10. Does hard mean difficult? Does hard mean difficult? Number 11. Does near mean close to something? Does near mean close to something? That was number 11. Number 12. Would a dog be clever if he opened the door? Would a dog be clever? We're on number 12 right now, so just jump down to number 12. Would a dog be clever if he opened the door?
No.
13. Is it hard to eat a bowl of cereal? Is it hard to eat a bowl of cereal? That was 13. Number 14. Is it good for your hearing to sit near very loud speakers? Is it good for your hearing to sit near very loud speakers? $15. Does a heart signal love? Does a heart signal love? Number 16. Would it be clever to take out the trash? Would it be clever to take out the trash? Put those up in the air. Would you go around and collect them for me, please?
Do we put our names on it?
You do not need to put your name on it this time.
Are we getting it back?